I can't see a thing with it, guys, so if I'm like cross-eyed when I'm looking at you, I have no clue where my glasses are. Y'all, I can't really tell the difference between who's who.
Do you both have a book? Oh, you do. We will do this.
Why don't you take your cases and slide them underneath the chair? Get them out of the way.
Teacher would say, Mr. Shepard, I ate it.
You hate my glasses?
Yeah,
You know, I always say that too whenever I can't find that. I usually say, who ate it? Like if you want to hear music or something. Now, just so that the viewing audience can see what we're seeing here, I guess I'm putting that towards the screen and not the lens. So that's a little bit high, because you see how you can't see any black over the top of it. Also, it's chipped right here. Do you have another one? This one's going to squeeze all over the place.
Except facing the wrong way.
Imagine you're all going to break a couple of reeds here in the first couple of weeks, so I get used to it, which is normal. But we don't want to play on a broken reed.
This one has like the tiniest little thing. You want to switch. Like I would have played this.
No, that's fine.
Class, but it doesn't mean I was right.
That hurts. Go ahead and switch that out. How do they look?
Good. Did you get your screen?
Let's see here for just a second, see if I can make a difference here. It's a little low. It's amazing how much of a difference.
Careful.
It's amazing how much of a difference a little bit of repositioning can make.
Oh yeah, when you did that,
You know,
I'm sure. You just
I do want you to switch reeds. I didn't see the edge of that. See that? That was hidden.
Oh. Well, she just broke the one on her shirt.
Oh.
Don't say okay, put the new one in
We've
your
gone
mouth.
through $6 worth of reeds in 3 minutes. Okay, wet that one down. Now, eventually you're going to get to where you're really good at taking care of these reeds. And they're going to last forever. You're not going to break them. You're going to think you're doing a really good thing, and then 6 months from now, I'm going to say, how old's your reed? Because I'm going to forget to ask you. And you're going to go, I don't know. I said, do you have it whenever we had band camp? Yeah. And then I'm going to think, why didn't I think to ask you that earlier? Because they should last about a month. No longer than that. Even if they don't break, what happens is they start getting really floppy. And they just don't sound as good, and it makes your lips weak, actually, because you're playing on a weak reed. So even if your reed doesn't break over the course of a month, you're going to want to use it. If you want to be really, really fancy, what you can do is you can rotate them. And you can get a pencil, and on the back side of the reed, you can write 1 on one of them, 2 on the other one, 3 on the other one. And one day use number 1, the next day use number 2, the next day use number 3. That's if you're really into it. It'll last longer that way. But if you're not,
I told my cousin he plays the clarinet too. And I told him about the clarinet because he said, I don't like the taste of mine. I want to hear one of those.
oh no, I shouldn't have even mentioned it. You don't want flavored reeds, and you don't want clarinets that aren't black.
Well, probably, does that make you salivate more too?
Nah, not really. No.
I would guess.
They really don't have a lot of flavor. In fact, the flavor was way under my big. The only reason I know that is because they sold them at band contests of all places when I was in middle school. And of course, before we played, I saw the stand that had flavored reeds, and I went and bought one and I used it for contests. And I'm sure my director probably would have thrown a fit at you. Okay, did you get it? That was good. Try that and see what it sounds like. And go ahead and move your cases underneath the chairs. That way you can put your feet out in front of it. That sounds better. Can you sit tall with your elbows off of your legs, please? Okay, try it and see what happens. I want you to tighten up here a little bit more so the air is not coming out of the corner of your mouth. And then breathe in bigger. A lot more. Sounds better, doesn't it?
This is a brand new one. You just put on that one before. Okay, get a new one.
What just happened?
She broke it.
Done?
Okay.
Can I see that? Hey.
4 million reads.
Don't set it on the floor like that.
I can't even see that. There's a chip out of the side of it. We're $8 into our reads now.
In your mouth.
Is this your last one?
There's one more.
Guard your reeds with your life. There you go. One
Your
thing,
last one? Well, he does have more, so you can buy
I never start class until everybody's reeds in the right spot. And everybody has one that's not broken, which means sometimes it takes 10 minutes to start class, but I'd rather start class with everybody having a working reed than start with the people not having a working reed. And you never want to push down on the top of it whenever you put it in there. You use your nose on the side.
it. Looks like you're just sticking. Yeah. That's a little bit. Just like a tiny snip.
While we were adjusting, I'll tell you a little story. In 8th grade, and I started in 6th grade, in 8th grade I wanted to quit because I just did not sound good anymore. I went from sounding really good to sounding horrible on my saxophone, and I thought it was me. What I didn't realize is I had a bad reed, and I'd been using it for like a month, and for a month I sounded horrible. And finally my band director figured out what was going on, and he gave me a new reed, and all of a sudden I sounded great. And then I didn't want to quit anymore. So just know, if you go from sounding really good to all of a sudden sounding fuzzy and not being able to make any noise on it, it's probably your reed. It's probably not you.
I had that happen too.
The reed makes a huge difference. Okay, try it, see if it works. Any note.
Left hand on top.
Little less than your mouth, ready? Go for it. Spot. Push your teeth down. Try again. There we go. Yeah, position makes a lot of difference. Okay, I want you to sit up tall, feet on the floor. We're going to take a big breath whenever we play. And I want you to keep on sitting tall, but turn to page 4. Sitting up tall, turn to page 4. Sitting up tall helps us to take a big breath in. And we're going to fill up from down here first. Okay? And when I say that, I mean you're not going to pinch off, you're not going to do this with reed. Okay? Because you actually can't get a whole lot of air in when you do that. So we want to keep our shoulders down. Fill up from down here first. Okay? And play F for me. And if you need to cheat a little bit, you can look and see where the F is in the book again. And remember that fingering.
Don't rest your.
Excellent. And you didn't look at the book, did you? Or lift your music stand up. There you go. So you keep your head up. Okay. How about a G? Good. Got it. Look at two. Good. G is up here. It doesn't use any fingers. Okay. A little less now. There you go. All right. How about an E? E like there you go. There's a lot of air breathe from there. Good job. How about a D? Stretch that middle finger down. And if you remember about tonguing from last lesson that we had, you can start with your tongue. Ta. How about a C? Lots of air. Good. Our tone is getting better. And I want to see if we remember tonguing. Can you tongue 4 C's for me? sounds really good. I want everybody to copy that. Do what she just did. 4 C's on your own. Go for it. Good. Can you pull more air? The more air you use, the better the instrument sounds. This finger right here wasn't quite over the head. That's why it does that. Come on. Okay, try again. There we go. You're also blowing on that, which is kind of a little bit fuzzy too. One more time. Good job.
That's better, let's hear it again.
I always say one more time like 7,000 times. I'm gonna get used to that. It's a band record thing.
You're still using your, throat. Did he talk about the hose?
With the water, the hand, okay. You know, you say stuff so many times you can't remember what you say. With this air that we're going to use, can you get that clarinet out for me right there?
This one?
Yeah, that's the one. Thank you. Imagine that you have a water hose and there's no nozzle on it. It's just empty, just an empty hole, and it's spraying water. Just a steady stream of water, and that's like your air. Okay. The water never stops, and just like that, our air never stops as we're blowing. Now I can take my hand, and that's kind of like our tongue, and I can do this, and I can chop that water up into little bitty tiny segments, so that I'm going to have, if you were to watch that in slow motion, you can see little bitty segments of water that are separated by a little bit of air. Okay. But what we don't want to do is we don't want to take that hose and try to get the segments by going and cut it off, okay? If we do that, what we sound like, thank you, is, if I can see, I'm just going to guess that's the one that's coming. We're good. There we go. If I were to just use a whole bunch of puffs of air, it's going to sound like this. And you can imagine if I played a song like that, it wouldn't be very pretty. That would be like if I was singing Mary, Lip, Tull, Lamb, which just sounds really dumb, right? Okay, instead, here's what I'm going to do. My air is going the entire time. My tongue is separating it out into little notes. I want you to try that. Play one long note, but chop it up a little bit with your tongue. Separate the air with your tongue. Go for it. Any note you want.
You did a good job. You're still using your throat. You're closing off your throat.
Yeah, you're tonguing from right here. We call that a glottal tongue. Glottal just means the part of the tongue down here. Whenever you do it, just move the tip of the tongue. Don't let this move down here. There's a pet bird Van has. He's actually down below the bottom of the door right there. When he flies back, I'll let you know. He is here every single year in the month of June for 10 years now. He comes back and then he's perches up on the top of the door and then he poops down it. So in the next couple of days, there should be a whole. There he is. He's always there. I'm saying it's the same one every year because he always acts the same way. All right. Let's try a C. Use just the tip of the tongue. I want you to use faster air. That might be something for you to try.
And so what you did not do, you did not go from 2, 2, 2.
It's a matter of matching up the tongue with the fingers, which is kind of coordination. It's pretty good. I want to hear you do that whenever you come back on Tuesday. You start slow. on to number 1. Now, I've written the 5 notes that we have on clarinet up here on the TV. We remembered that the second note, the first note up there is on the second line, and we have a saying that we use for those lines. Anybody remember what it was? Every...
Good boy deserves that.
Thank you, yeah. So G for good. Now, the spaces spell out the word face, so that bottom space is F, that's why that's an F. And then the third note, there's an E, because every, okay. But you can also go downwards. I'm going down below the staff, I've got a D. And then if I go even lower, I have to add a little line, because there's not enough lines on there. We call that a ledger line. And that's a C, that's our lowest note, this is down so low. If you go back this direction, you'll notice this alphabetical order, C, D, E, F, G, as you go up. So, looking at the second line there from the bottom, which is a G, let's play number 1. Hold it out for 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, and go. I like what I'm hearing too, because you remembered that we're going to not stop on 4, we're actually going to stop on the beat after that, which is beat 1 of the next one. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. All right, let's try number 3. It's the same rhythm we just did, only now we're using the F, which is the bottom space, which is F for face, the first letter of face. 1, 2, hang on one moment. Everybody sit up tall, please. And make sure you're not grabbing onto the clarinet with your legs. There you go. Okay, take a big breath on 4 so that we have a lot of air. 1, 2, 3, breathe in. Rest. 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. In my head, I'm thinking those numbers that I'm saying out loud. Look at number 5. I know you've got it memorized, because this is really easy to do. Even though you have it memorized, I want you to practice looking at it while you play it, so that you can get used to tracking along with your eyes and following along with your eyes like you do whenever you're reading a book. Okay. So practice reading with your eyes. Number 5. 1, 2, ready, and go. Rest. 2. Think about your right thumb. There you go. That's a good habit to get into. We're not even using these fingers yet, are we? The right hand fingers. So it's easy to start doing this with them. But soon we will be using those, and you want to make sure when we start using them that they're ready to go. Okay. So we're going to get in the habit of having them right there. Now, number 7, the note that's below the staff. The one below the staff is a D. You're going to have to stretch down your middle finger so that it flew over the hole. Here we go. Instrument in our mouth, set and ready to go. Not grabbing onto it with our knees. There's a whole lot to remember, isn't there? I'm picky, aren't I? But it looks good. It sounds good too. 1, 2, and ready, and go. Rest. 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. We're going to move on to the C, which is number 9. All right. Here we go. Stretch those fingers out so they're completely over the hole. If you don't make a noise on it, it's not your mouth's fault, it's your fingers' fault. See if you can feel that circle on the little pad of your finger. Can you feel the little circle? Is it there in the right spot? Squish it and see. Okay, here we go. 1 and 2 and ready and go. And rest. 2, 3, and 4. And rest. 2, 3, 4. Now you don't need to bring your flashcards to class. You can if you want to, but those are for you to use at home. You what? Okay, that's a good place for them. I do want to show you how to use them though. We did flashcard set 1 already. I'm going to show you flashcard set 2. What I've done is I've taken these 5 notes that we just played, that were on page 4 and 5, and I just put 1 note per flashcard. And then on the back side it tells you what the letter name is, and it tells you the fingering for it. I think we all know all the fingerings now, and I'm just going to test that theory. Don't look at anything, but don't look at your book, don't look at the TV. Show me how to finger a D. Just checking to make sure everybody has flashcard set 1. Yes. Yeah, everybody has it. How about the 2 fingers? There you go. How about C? There you go. How about an E? E like elephant? Yes. Yes. F? Good. And G. Kind of hard to play G without it in your mouth, isn't it? Or the finger, you see, drop it. Okay. So I want you to keep on working on flashcard set 1 over the course of the weekend, right? And then once you get that, we're going to go on flashcard set 2. So now that we know the fingerings for the letter names, now we need to know what the letter name is by looking at it. Can anybody tell me what the letter name for that one is? D. Yeah, the note below, and you got it, it's 2 fingers and a thumb. The note below the staff is a D. How about this?
G.
F. It's the first letter of face, right? It's that bottom space. I'm going to go up 1, which means we're just going to the next letter in the alphabet. I went from that space to that line. G, yeah. Good job, because it goes up 1 letter in the alphabet. In fact, they go in alphabetical order starting with C. You already know what the next one is, I'm going to show you. D, next letter of the alphabet. Tell me what the next one is without me showing you. E. E. And then I'm going to go up to F, which is that bottom space. And finally, going up to G. Okay, we're going to play a little game with this whenever we come back next week. It's a speed drill. Here's how this works. So up on the board, I'm going to have all 5 of these notes written. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to point in a random order. And when I do that, you're going to play the one that I point at. And we're going to time you, and we're going to see if you can get it in under 10 seconds. In fact, I want you to get it in under 10 seconds by the time school starts. If you can get it in under 5, that is phenomenal. And if you can get it in 3, you've got the school record. Nobody's ever beat 3. I've had 2 people get 3 before. It was years ago. Do you want to try it? I know we're not going to get 3 seconds the first time, but I believe you can do this. You got it. Nice job. Now when you're doing this, I also want you to always think about tonguing the notes to start up. Ta, ta. From now on, we're going to tongue everything that we start. About halfway through the year, we're going to get to some notes that you don't tongue whenever you tongue it. In fact, you'll tongue the very first in the group, but you might do this. It's called slurring. For now, I want you to tongue it. Questions about what's going on up there? Everybody clear on how to practice for that? Our second slip fluctuator. All right, let's go to number 2. Okay. We're going to tongue every single one of these. Remember, we're going to keep that air going. It's not peaceful. Keep the air string going like the hose that we talked about. Okay. If you need to, you can raise up your music stand. All you do is put your foot down on the bottom of it and raise it up. You can also tilt it back and forth like this. So just as where you get it. That'll help you to keep it to where you don't have to keep your head down. I don't know, it's just a pet peeve of mine. Whenever I play, you can do it however you want, but I like to keep one of the legs pointing between my feet. I don't know. Looks like we've all done that anyway. Okay, here we go. Count in your head. 1 and 2 and 3. Number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, and okay. 3 things. First of all, what note are we playing? G. And how do you play G? Exactly. Okay. Number 2, if you're not using your fingers, where should they be? In the air right above the keys. And number 3, how many of the G's are there in the first measure? There's 4 of them. Yeah, and by the way, a measure is anything that's separated by what we call bar lines. So there's measure 1, there's measure 2, that's our bar lines. So in the first measure, there's 4 counts. You're going to count to 4 while you play it, and you're going to follow along with your eyes. Let's try it again. See if we can get the right number of them. 1 and 2. Use your tongue. Go. Rest. 2 and 3 and 4. Good. Now look at number 4. We have different notes here, don't we? It starts with an F with our thumb. If you can't remember the fingering, you can look at the fingering chart on the side. And then we rest for 4, and then we go to G. 1, 2, and 3, and go. Rest. 2, and 3, and 4. That sounds much better. Okay, number 6. And you know what? Let's do number 4 one more time. See where we're at. Right there. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, number 4, and go. And sitting up tall. 2, and ready, and go. It's amazing how much better we sound whenever we sit up tall, because we have more air support. So that was good. Let's go on to number 6. Take a look and see what notes we have at 6. I'm going to play this for you. In my head, I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Every measure, I'm going back to 1. Let's try it. Sit up tall. Take a big breath. Our thumb hook is directly above our fingernail. 1, 2, and ready, and go. And 2, 3, and 4. I really like what I'm hearing. How about number 8? Would somebody else like to demonstrate this? Would you? No? Okay. I'll demonstrate it. Rest, rest, rest. Then what am I going to do? Repeat. Yeah, there's a repeat sign at the end of that. So those 2 dots are there at the end. It means go back to the beginning and do it again. Before we do it as a group, I want you to do it on your own. Go for it. Just try number 8 on your own to get the right fingers. trying to.
Yeah, so that's all one breath that you're doing. So these only need one breath, just like that. So and so
Blow really hard on
so
it.
bring up the back of your throat.
Keep playing, that's fine.
Try it again.
If you got that, go ahead and look at number 10. You may or may not be able to make it. I just want to see those. Firm up the mouth, blow a lot here. It might be easiest to do. Yeah. Use even more air. Yeah, blow pretty hard on that, don't you? Hear the difference though, your pitch isn't down low down here, right now it's up higher. Hear your breath, try even harder. You don't like the feel of that, do you? Sounds a little better. Now, play the longest note that you possibly can. Use that. Is it hard to play the third? No. I want you to try that one for the weekend, and then we'll see how you feel on when you come back. It's a strength 3, which you were playing on a strength 2, and the higher the numbers, the better it sounds. But you have to have really rough lips in order to make it noise. Your lips are going to get stronger from using that, and it's going to fix that problem. And it'll probably just take about 3 or 4 days as long as you do it. Can I hear you play number 6? But I think I'm out for right now.
Alright. If we can just look at number 8, we're going to play this one together. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so in our second measure, there's just one note, correct? Yeah. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, off. 3, 4. Let's start again. 1, 2, ready. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Good. It seems like we got a little confused on the repeat. So after you play the first time, you go G, 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 F. It's 2, 3, back to the beginning, and you start again. So let's do the first time through again. We're going to play it through twice because of those repeat signs at the end. 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, repeat. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. We're done.
Number 10. Bum, 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 bum. Start on C with all our fingers, and remember when you play C, you want to spread those fingers. Stretch the lowest one down so that it goes all over the hole. Sitting up tall. You need a nap, don't you? Here we go. I took a 5-hour nap yesterday. and hum it from noon to 5 about. 1 and 2 and ready and hang on one second. Got it? Remember that Coke can we talked about where you have your hand curved like this? 1 and 2 and 3 and right and 3 and go. Now we repeat back to the beginning. Go and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You're all doing a good job for something that's this complicated. We got all 5 notes down that we're trying to read all at once, so that's kind of a brain twister. So what I want you to do is I want you to go home and practice on the ones that we just played. And I also want you to look at number 11. In fact, look at 11 right now. Do you notice anything about 11? Yeah. It is. Exactly, yeah. It's the exact same thing as 10 without the letters, because they're trying to teach you how to read now without the letters. So when you go home and you're playing from 1 to 11, when you get to 11, try doing that without the letters. And if you need to peek up above to number 10 to see what the letters are, you can do that. It's fine. In fact, if you need to write in letters for just a little while, that's okay with me. I tell you that you can go until about October with writing in letters. And then after October, we try to get away from it. If anybody would like to look ahead, which I think some of you would like to, look at number 14. It's on the next page. This is a fun one. You played this one? What is it the same as? Did you figure it out? Rolling along. It's also. That one is in there though, by the way. It's on page 13, I believe, 13 or 14. It's way back there. Okay, everybody clear on what you're supposed to be doing at home? You can look at your assignment sheet if you forget. That's okay. You can do a little bit each day. Go from 1 to 10 or 1 to 11. Try to master that, and if you want to look ahead, you can. And especially look at number 14 if you want to bring your head a little bit. All right, go ahead and take them apart. You tried playing Chicken Bills?
Yeah, me too. Do it.
I get that you're looking ahead. Does that read annoys you? You can go back to your other one. I think I'm the one really like it better. It's actually the one that I usually do myself. You'll have a long weekend now. You're not going to come back on Monday. You're going to come back on Tuesday. The reason I say that is because there's always somebody, a clarinet player, that peeks their head in the window and wonders why there's trumpets in here instead of clarinets. So don't come on Monday.